Okay, Chet, close your eyes, take a deep breath in and hold it, and let it go. Now, just breathing comfortably with your eyes closed, go ahead and feel your feet on the floor or whatever part of you is connected to something. Allow yourself to feel that connection. Allow yourself to feel centered and grounded. Allowing yourself to be right here, right now, as present as possible so as to receive maximum benefit from this hour. Just following your breath through your body, just allow yourself to be aware of what's going on in there, noticing what you're feeling physically and what you're feeling emotionally. Thinking about a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being excellent, just noticing how close you are. And ask yourself, what would it take to get to a 10? What would you need to do? What would you need to let go of? What stands in the way of a 10? And just imagine different areas of your life. You could be thinking of your career, your finances, your physical well-being, your relationships. Allowing yourself to be aware of, if there's one area in particular you'd like to focus on today. Thinking about what you could do to move the needle towards a 10 in that area of your life. And notice where there might be resistance. What might stop you? What might stop you from creating life at a 10? What might stop you from being Chuck at a 10? We come from the place of God created us in his likeness. That's at a 10. God created us at a 10. Just allowing yourself to be aware of what old thoughts, beliefs, or memories it might be time to let go of, to reconsider. Allowing yourself to be aware of what feels important. Take a deep breath. Let it go. Open your eyes. And let me know where we're going today.
Um, Let me see here. Remind me later. Got to pop up here. There we go. Um, um, in some ways, the week was, well, no, in spite of things that didn't happen or I didn't do as I had wanted to, I had an amazing week. Um, so I've been recruiting coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Did I tell you about that at all? Or clubs, but I know the directors, and that's what I'm creating. And I've recruited three. One of them just yesterday, and this is my was my mentor. And we've kind of, you know, drifted a bit. But I was up in that area, and I thought I'm just going to stop by and talk with him. And so I waited for like an hour. They had a practice going on, and I had an amazing visit with him and talked to him about Revo and the possibilities for their club. And he's like, man, I'm interested, so send me some information. And my other two coaches are in the same boat. Haven't Well, one of them is probably all the way in, except that he's the coach of the Saint Olympic Saint Kitts team, beach volleyball. So they just got, he's in Mexico now. But every time I call, he talks to me for a bit and try to get on the same page, so I'm excited about that. My other coach is definitely in. Um, just a matter of he's pretty busy right now. Is it's the worst time to be contacting people. The national tournament's going on, and so they're starting all their summer stuff and trying to get off to that.
Hmm.
So, but even in the midst of that, I've gotten, I think, two commitments, and I would be very surprised if this other one didn't come through. So that's off the charts right there. And the biggest news, I got in contact with Lyle, who is my contact with Dallas,
Right, right, right.
and he's really excited. I mean, I sent him a proposal,
Right.
and it was kind of hanging out there, and I was didn't want to put any pressure on him, but I did send him a text, and he said, "Let's talk." And so anyway, we talked on, I think it was Saturday, and um, you know, it was over 20 minutes long, so there's a lot of information there, right? And he's busy, so he caught some big points but missed some. And I came in, they they call it, I heard this, um, you don't know who the head of, or yeah, what one of the heads um, of prepaid legal is, do you? Do you know? You're
Know
not
what
familiar?
prepaid legal is, but I don't know the people.
Oh, okay. I'm drawing a blank on his name, but Meyer is his name. That's
Okay.
what it is. And he had the saying, it's not about the message, it's about the music. And I like that. Um, you're going to be a lot more successful with your energy and enthusiasm around what you're saying than saying the exact right thing. That's kind of what the message is, what
When I
that,
was waiting tables, they put it, it's not the steak, it's the sizzle.
yes, that's another one. But anyway, um, you know, when I related the expanding on that, I was just in a zone, uh, my friend, when I recruited her into Connect, said, you were there. You just find that place and you're not going to have any issues. So anyway, but I talked to Lyle for quite a while, and so when we were about done, and so he says, this is really good, and he's in two meetings with the two groups that would take this on, one in August and one in September, and he's coming to Colorado Springs in August, and he's going to come see me.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so, um, so at the end of the call, I said, well, I really didn't want to overwhelm you, but I do have a coloring book for kids too. And he just flips out. Um, for memory, I said that
Right, right,
coloring
right,
book
right.
for memory, what just a coloring book, but a
Yeah,
coloring book to teach kids how to memorize scripture.
yeah.
And he honestly just said, Chuck, I I want to partner with you on that to get that product completed. And I'm going to have my children's director call you, and I want to pilot that in my church. And I'm like, man, that's cool.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nicely manifested.
Oh my gosh, that's who was it that said that to me? Oh, my sister. I called a lot of people because I wanted to share, because people have been praying for me,
Yeah.
and so I called a bunch of people, and the guy, well, I called my sister, and my sister just like, bro, be lots of tears of joy in this conversation. But my sister, I've had a lot of BHAGs, and she's, many unfruitioned, if that's a
Hmm.
word. Um, and she's never stopped believing in me, not once. So anyway, that was a good conversation. She's like, bro, it's happening. And so then I wanted to tell you one other thing. I don't remember what that matter. but anyway, it just, so two things, um, that, what to work on this week. One, um, now the enormity of the task is enormous. The especially the kids one is piece of cake, right? I mean, like I already sent him a sample of a color I created on. Oh, I talked to him on Friday because I woke up Saturday morning and I created a coloring page and sent it to him just to show him a sample of what it looks like. It kind of goes in storybook fashion, and so like the scripture I was showing him was, um, uh, whether you're eating or drinking or whatever you do, do it for the glory of God. First Corinthians 10:31. And so I created that storybook fashion for coloring book. And at the top it has all the letters. At the first, one of my techniques is the first letter of every word of the scripture. And then at the bottom I have the scripture, and in the middle I have the storyboard. So there's really two ways to memorize the scripture. One is with the letters, and one is through the storyboard, or to work them together, as well. But anyway, so I sent it that. I haven't heard, I need to double check, make sure I hadn't heard back from him, but um, it just was, I was in so much gratitude, you know, just God is good, and the whole thing. I was telling people at church on Sunday. I told my Sunday school group that they know we're working together, and I said, it was really understanding that I could be going down a path that may not be to the path where I think where I want to go. God, and God is taking me down that path for some other reason, and I just want to learn how to, like, um to take some of the, I talked about euphoria. You remember when I talked about euphoria and joys of trading,
Mhm.
and how that could be counterproductive? That, like I'm being euphoric because it looks like it's going in my direction, what I think the end's going to be. And I want to be more, like, open to, just like, man, this is awesome. Wonder where this is going to go, and not be so, like, tied to, that whole idea of curiosity, to be like, make that a part of my whole life. So, but anyway, the two areas that I wanted to deal with: the enormity, because the adult version of this would eventually be the whole Bible. And it's interesting because when I told him that, he just said, "Whoa," not not in a limited kind of way, very much awesome kind of, but the enormity of it, he understood it. And so anyway, I understand it. It's a lot. And but along the way, I just thought about this. I've learned about AI and its ability to draw coloring books. It doesn't have to be a whole page. It could be a storybook panel.
Yep.
And so I've in the past I had this idea that it was going to be like even a more enormous, and that's why I just need to trust God more. That's what I just learned. I mean, I've been learning that along the way, but um, not only he's just going to help me figure it out. So anyway, that's awesome. So, but anyway, the enormity's still there. It's a lot.
Yeah.
The other thing is my um, with my Connect, um, I'm I'm being afraid of um, contacting people, and we have a special going on until the 30th that would save people $7,500. And so I I don't want to feel guilty, but I want to feel urgency around the fact that, see, I'm going to say what I'm going to say so you know what I'm thinking. I
Y-
want to get through this thought process
Yeah.
that like I'm cheating people because I'm not contacting them. But I want to create that kind of urgency without the guilt. But I think the guilt is actually holding me back. So
You've gone through at least some of the network marketing series that I did, right?
yes, yes.
Yeah. So Jesse Reimers, who's did, she says, if you're not sharing, you're being a dick.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that is what I've got to go find that. That is freaking
I don't know if
hilarious.
she said that in that she may have done that because we presented live at a conference once, and she may have said it then. But
I'm going to get back into that, but that's I didn't get, I think I might have gotten to like day 8 or 9 or something like that.
huh,
So there's 30 days on that, isn't there? Isn't that a 30-day deal? So
around,
I'll,
30
I'll
plus.
start, I'll start that back up because, I mean, that's where, see, and the other thing is that I'm not using my tapping to the advantage that I could. We should, I don't want to say we shouldn't. Well, how am I going to say this? That resource was there and I haven't accessed it, not
Close your eyes,
feel.
take a deep breath, just real quick,
Yeah.
and just allow yourself to be aware of this feeling of what you haven't done, where you're shooting on yourself and being curious, not judgmental. I haven't used these resources because dot dot dot.
I knew you were going to say that. Sorry. Um,
I know I'm predictable after a few
yes.
sessions. If I, and here's another way of learning, feeling what goes on inside your body and being aware of the thoughts and ideas that come up. If I were using these resources more fully, dot dot dot.
So the beauty of it is it's kind of like a bit of a helter. Is that the right analogy? Like, I mean, I manifested through God's grace my relationship with all of these people, with Jim and Chris and Rick and Lyle.
Mm-hmm.
And you would think that that would spur me on, that um, just like it's
Close.
right
Oh,
there.
yeah, hold on. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and
Okay.
say, it's too much for me. I'm not sure I deserve it.
It's too much for me. I'm not sure I deserve it.
Just notice on a scale of 0 to 10 how true that might feel.
When you added, I mean, there was more power actually when you said it was too much for me. When I said I don't deserve it, um, that doesn't resonate as much.
Mm-hmm.
You said it was too much. I like that hit me like almost immediately.
Yeah.
I, um, I
If
mean,
more tapping or whatever, doing any positive thing could lead to more, it's like I already have too much on my plate. How I already have too many contacts. I already have so
well,
in me.
it's so what the other bit of update that I didn't give you is, and I'm not all the way there, but I have made tremendous progress with calendaring And it was actually just today that I figured out, I was studying Google, and they have what's called Google Task. Are you familiar with that?
No, I
It's
don't use
really
that.
quite a feature. It just, you can make a master task list, and I was definitely looking for that. And then a bunch of not sub, yeah, subtask list. And so I'm really excited about implementing that. That's what I was trying to do, but it was overwhelming. All these pieces of paper and stuff like that. I couldn't find a way that I felt comfortable in Google Sheets doing it. But this is perfect. And I got to figure it out. There's another piece that I want to figure out. Um, but I didn't want to get into some other contact management where I had to learn it, spend a lot of time. This is just real easy videos. Google Task, I pulled it up and watched a 10-minute video, and I'm like, this is amazing. And Google Keeps, you can tie his notes, and you can tie your notes to everything.
Yeah.
There's only one piece that I'm missing, but anyway, I'm exceptionally encouraged about that. So I feel overwhelmed, but I don't feel defeated or like like a vision of the future that I'm going to get, not going to get a hold of this. I don't feel that way, but I am overwhelmed. I don't think it's too much. I think with how I've been operating, it's too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
So
really honestly, oh yeah,
close your eyes, take a deep breath. Just upon your breath through your body, just allow yourself to say, this is overwhelming.
this is overwhelming.
And just notice what that feels like. And then just changing the word slightly, say, I feel overwhelmed.
I feel overwhelmed.
And which of
It's
those
in,
feels
I'm feeling that. I don't know if you can see me, but right about where my
solar
rib
plexus?
solar plex. That's what I was trying to
Yeah.
think of. And it's interesting because a lot of times I feel it like up here where I felt that overwhelm. So, the other day I was feeling it in my neck.
Yeah.
So I think it might be farther down here because even though I'm overwhelmed now, I don't have a sense that I'm not going to get this under control.
Okay. Scale is 0 to 10. How strong is it feeling at the moment?
So it's probably a 5 or 6.
Okay. Even though I'm feeling overwhelmed,
Even though I'm feeling overwhelmed,
I choose to love and accept myself.
I choose to love and accept myself.
Even though I'm feeling overwhelmed,
Even though I'm feeling overwhelmed,
I choose to love and honor myself.
I choose to love and honor myself.
Even though I'm feeling overwhelmed,
Even though I'm feeling overwhelmed,
I have an abundance of really cool opportunities.
I have an abundance of very cool opportunities.
But abundance can be overwhelming,
But abundance can be overwhelming,
even when it's really good stuff.
even when it's really good stuff.
And even though I'm feeling overwhelmed,
And even though I'm feeling overwhelmed,
I choose to deeply and completely
I choose to deeply and completely
love, honor, and accept myself,
love, honor, and accept myself,
and maybe anyone else who might be involved.
and maybe anyone else who might be involved.
All this feeling of being overwhelmed,
All of this feeling of being overwhelmed,
all this feeling of being overwhelmed,
all of this feeling of being overwhelmed.
feeling it in my solar plexus.
Say that again.
I'm feeling it in my solar plexus.
I'm feeling it in my solar plexus.
Sometimes it's in my chest.
Sometimes in my chest.
Sometimes it's in my throat.
Sometimes it's in my throat.
Just this bodily sensation
Just this bodily sensation
that it's too much for me.
that it's too much for me.
There's too much going on.
There's too much going on.
Part of me knows I can handle it
Part of me knows that I can handle it
because instead of telling God how big the job is,
because instead of telling God how big the job is,
I tell the job how big my God is.
my gosh, I tell this, I tell the job how big my God is.
But I am still human.
But I am still human.
And I still have my moments of doubt.
We asked in Sunday school, you're talking about like employing God. And that's not a bad word. It's neutrally, you know what I'm saying? Just getting him involved. And, you know, my confession, if you will, not in a negative way, but just revelation was that so often I come to him not in the beginning, and then I get an obstacle, and all of a sudden, you know, I don't want to make him a celestial shopping center. I want to trust in him and just want to trust him more.
And I forgive myself for not having perfect faith.
That's a good one. And I forgive myself for not having perfect faith.
Because even Jesus had his moments of doubt.
Even Jesus had his moments of doubt.
In the garden, he asked that the cup might be taken away.
In the garden, he asked the cup might be taken away.
On the cross, he asked why he was forsaken.
On the cross, he asked why he might be forsaken.
So if even Jesus had those moments of doubt,
So if even Jesus had those moments of doubt,
I think I can cut myself some slack.
I think I can cut myself some slack.
All this feeling of being overwhelmed
All of this feeling of being overwhelmed
when I look at what's in front of me.
when I look at what's in front of me.
And so it's no wonder I sometimes stop myself.
So it's no wonder why I sometimes stop myself.
I hold myself back with some of the tapping resources.
I hold myself back with some of the tapping resources.
I hold myself back from reaching out to people
I hold myself back from reaching out to people
because part of me says,
because part of me says
there's already too much on my plate.
there's,
There's already too much on my plate.
I wanted to tell you something because this is significant. So when I finished the proposal,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't share it with anybody before I sent it to him because, well, just made up all sorts of stories about that. But all those people I called are people I should have sent it to all of them. And then I can control the feedback. It doesn't matter what they say. I might not have learned anything from what they said. And it may have taken a little bit more time for me to respond to what they said, to change the proposal, which would have probably taken a few hours. It wouldn't have taken like more than that, maybe less than an hour potentially. And but I just told all sorts of stories, and I sometimes do this. I get a project to a place where, like when I was in college, I turned in first drafts all the time. Now I didn't type very well, so that was my excuse. I mean, I was horrific at typing. I had all sorts of red on my paper. They would always say, these are amazing ideas. And so I'm getting graded on extraneous stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
Technicalities.
yeah. So anyway, just that's a picture of, I think that's relevant. That's why I stopped.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm clearing any shame about this,
I'm clearing any shame about this,
clearing any anger at myself.
freeing any anger about myself.
Part of me says,
Part of me says
I should have shown it to all these other people.
I should have shown it to all these other people.
But why?
But why?
It might have been beneficial.
It might have been beneficial.
It might not have.
It might not have.
And it's in the past now.
Well, I was just thinking I could still do it because he's going to present this to that group and it's not going to happen for like 6 weeks. And he's already seen it, which is no big deal. But, and I could even ask him, you know, you saw the presentation. Do you see some ways to clean up the presentation? You know, so that's a possibility. But I
Mhm.
know what you're saying is
Yeah.
that, you know, once I'm in the stream, you know, you can't recreate the river and it's already gone by. Just let it go.
All this need to be upset with myself,
All of this need to be upset with myself,
to tell myself I should have done it differently,
to tell myself that I should have done it differently,
to feel guilt and shame,
to feel guilt and shame,
because that's how I've done it in the past.
because that's how I've done it in the past.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
And it's not helping me.
And it's not helping me.
I have enough on my plate already.
I have enough on my plate already.
I don't need to spend my energy on shoulds.
I don't need to spend my energy on shoulds.
So I'm clearing this.
So I'm clearing this.
I can look at what I can do now
I can look at what I can do now.
to make things as good as possible.
See if I would have been more eh, organizationally like I am getting, then when I thought about them helping me with it, it would have been like, man, I'm sending it to them. They send it back to me and I just bang, bang, bang. I would have knocked it out. So that was a part of it. I was, I just, I'd already procrastinated on getting it to them. And that was the other thing. Um, so I'm not, and I'm not feeling guilty about this. I'm just like telling you about the steps
Yeah.
because I was feeling very guilty when it was going down. But you know, I'm gonna let that go,
Letting it go.
letting it go.
Clearing this feeling of being overwhelmed.
Clearing this feeling of being overwhelmed
Because it's not all on my shoulders.
because it's not all because it's not all on my shoulders.
God has very broad shoulders.
God has very broad shoulders.
As I set myself free from overwhelm,
As I set myself free from overwhelm,
I have more time and energy
I have more time and energy
to focus on my part.
to focus on my part.
What is mine to do?
Say that again.
What is mine to do?
What is mine to do?
And I'm allowing myself more clarity about that.
I'm allowing myself more clarity about that.
As I get clear about what is mine to do,
As I get more clarity about what is mine to do,
I can figure out the action steps.
I can figure out the action steps.
I'm getting much more organized.
I'm getting much more organized.
This is doable,
This is doable,
and I have what it takes.
and I have what it takes.
And I love and appreciate those parts of me
And I love and appreciate those parts of me
that have been feeling overwhelmed
that have been feeling overwhelmed
based on old programming,
based on old programming,
based on Chuck in school who couldn't type well.
based on Chuck in school who couldn't type well.
These old beliefs about who I was,
These old beliefs about who I was,
even though that wasn't the full picture of who I am.
even though that wasn't the full picture of who I am.
The real me has got this.
The real me has got this.
Clearing the doubts.
So they're in the dust. Is that what you said?
Clearing the doubts.
Clearing the doubts,
Clearing them at a cellular level
clearing them at a cellular level
and all the way back through my past.
and all the way back through my past,
Back through all those times in my life
back through all those times in my life
that I somehow got the message
that I somehow got the message
that I wasn't competent enough,
that I wasn't competent enough,
I wasn't capable enough,
I wasn't capable enough,
that I didn't have what it takes.
that I didn't. You know how many people have told me the opposite of that right there? Almost all of my teachers, and I've forgiven the one that didn't. Um, but I've heard that message a lot, and I'm grateful, for people that have believed in me.
So many people have seen it in me,
So many people have seen it in me.
and that scares part of me.
That scares part of me.
What if I actually have to live up to that potential?
And then throw God in there. Actually have to live up to that potential.
It scares me.
It scares me.
I have brilliantly sabotaged myself
I have brilliantly sabotaged myself
in so many ways,
in so many ways,
including resisting using a calendar.
including resisting using a calendar.
I have found ways to hold myself back,
I have found ways to hold myself back,
not because I am bad or stupid,
not because I'm bad or stupid,
not because I am weak or lazy,
not because I'm weak or lazy,
but because the truth of who I really am
but because the truth of who I really am
scares the bejeebers out of me.
scares the bejeebers out of me.
And I'm clearing that fear.
And I'm clearing that fear.
I'm clearing that fear.
I'm clearing that fear.
My Creator,
My Creator,
I am now willing
I am now willing
that you should have all of me,
that you should have all of me,
good and bad.
good and bad.
I pray that you now remove from me
I pray that you now remove from me
every single defect of character
every single defective character
which stands in the way of my usefulness
which stands in the way of my usefulness
to you and my fellows.
to you and my fellows.
Grant me strength
Grant me strength
as I go out from here to do your bidding.
as I go out from here to do your bidding.
Amen.
Amen and amen.
Setting myself free
I'm setting myself free
in body, mind, and spirit.
in body, mind, and spirit.
Take a deep breath. Go inside and say, I feel overwhelmed. And if that was at about a 5 or 6 before, what does it feel like now?
Zero.
Have you heard that prayer before?
It sounded familiar.
That's the
I'll go.
that's the 7-step prayer from the 12 steps.
Well, yeah, I just forgot it. I
Yeah,
knew it. Um, yeah. Um,
one of my favorites.
yeah, no, that was I was my brain was racing a lot, so I had um, like when I usually mess up, it's not that I don't remember it. It's that my brain is
Yeah,
racing and I'm trying to remember while I'm thinking at the same time and
yeah.
just so that's you know 99% of the time that's the reason why I don't remember. There's a few times I don't remember, but occasionally I don't hear you
Mm-hmm.
correctly, but most of it is um, just my brain. And I'm grateful. I want to say that in a way because I'm exceptionally grateful for how I operate because I wouldn't be here today if God hadn't given me, whether you believe in ADD or not, or how much of it was ADD, I don't really care about that. I just know the way I operate is a little scattered, and I can rein that in. The scattered stuff is good stuff. I wouldn't come up with the ideas that I have if my brain didn't work like that. So I'm grateful for that. And I started my compensate. Well, I'm sure I didn't even recognize the ones that I started when I was younger, but when I started this memory work was when I started my compensation. That was my first compensation mechanism. That's how I got through college. I would not have made it through college. And so, um, anyway, I'm grateful, you know,
So,
and I'm
oh,
gonna, I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
get more, and I'm gonna get more, I'm committed to this whole, like, refining this process, not a lot, but just a few things, and then implementing the ones I haven't used yet and expanding the ones that I have been using. Because I don't think I got a reminder on my I go look again, but I don't, maybe I could have missed it, but I'll look. Um, I'll email you if I didn't get it, so you know,
For this session, you mean?
for this session. It was um it was on my calendar because I accepted it.
Yeah,
It automatically goes on my calendar.
yeah.
Um, and so I'm like, huh. And then I said, I'm pretty sure because we didn't go last week. I didn't know, I was certain we didn't have 2 weeks in a row that we weren't going. So
Yeah.
I found it on the calendar, and I'm going to figure out how it'll shoot me a message from myself as well.
Yeah.
But I'll look if it is, if it did come, I know you would want to try to see why, but
Yeah,
I,
because yeah, Calendly usually sends those, but yeah, that's why I haven't, I never rely on reminder thing. That's why I keep my calendar so that I don't rely on outside systems. That's why it's so helpful to have a calendar is
right.
what you've scheduled, so you can look at that anytime and not wait for something external to tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, the system should send that, but
Well, also,
yeah,
so you're going through your calendar. Oh yeah, I've got something going on tomorrow. It just it's helpful. It's you're checking it out and looking
yep.
at it, and it takes a little bit of time to do that. But the amount of time that I'm saving myself already, and the amount that that's going to increase even more as I refine and execute more consistently with this. Um,
Well, it's like
I
you said with the session um that we had canceled last week on the 18th, and you wrote back and said, "Oh, that's right. It was in the back of my mind." It's like, yeah, take it out of the back of your mind. Just have it
right.
on your calendar, because then your back of your mind is free to be working on, okay, what's the next page of the children's coloring book that I want to do, or something that's much more useful.
And if I wouldn't have had it on my calendar, then I would have been emailing you, and like I have been doing, just um the amount of, I mean, that's just one example. It's like I was just thinking about this other day, how freeing that is alone, just having more control of my calendar.
A
And then,
game changer.
yeah, and then I can focus. It's not just the time, because it's costing me a lot of time. More of it is it saps my energy.
Absolutely.
And um, that has been I have more energy now. Part of it, I've taken some new supplements, and they've helped a lot, but some of that has been this, just this whole freeing up. Um, you know, I never oh, The Price is Right. That game where it goes like like the price is there, and you right here, and you go up there, and it tries to get up there, and if you get it within the where the price is, you win the prize,
Right.
right? And I feel like that's metaphorical, that it's what's the word that I use? Well, and you've said it, the river rises, whatever, everybody rises with as the
All
river
ships
goes up.
rise with the tide.
Yes. And so that's what I feel, that when I start looking at stuff, I still have some disempowering thoughts, but um, my threshold, that's the word, my threshold has risen so much that I don't go down into, what is it, Louise Hayes, that whole, list of
Yeah.
When they came with that whole list of like levels of anxiety and anger and hate, evil, and all that kind of stuff that she had on her list. It's not exactly analogous, but that whole I don't go down, I bounce back because I'm not my threshold is so much higher that I bounce off that the the
Yeah.
the floor of my of my threshold and then it's just every day I'm like that. I feel like that thing's going up every day too. I'm making inroads, finding more freedom, finding and accomplishing things. That's a big, like now that I've built these relationships, they're new, but they're there,
Yeah.
I didn't have that before.
Close your eyes, take a deep breath. And I want you to imagine that it's Friday afternoon, and feeling that it's been a very successful week. That you've gotten things done that you wanted to get done, that you feel that you've been productive, you've been taking the actions that are moving you forward, that are moving the needle towards being at a 10 in terms of excellence. And
So
say,
I'm coming out of that one because where I want you to tap with me on is um, because I feel like we worked on the overwhelm.
yeah,
The other one that I talked about, and I'm feeling it right here
yeah.
again, about the same intensity, is that um, contacting these people. I have a list, and
So
it's
in
like,
terms of what I was saying, in terms of like it's Friday and you've been successful and thinking about I've contacted people on this list,
yeah,
what would stop you? Well, so let me just finish that one thing. So with your eyes closed.
okay,
So you imagine that as part of what has made this a successful week, that you've contacted, a certain number of people, from that list, choose a number and say, I am committed to contacting these people.
I am committed to. I'm going to add to that. I'm committed to contacting these people with um, authenticity, with compassion, and with resolution.
Excellent. And let that rattle around inside. And notice on a scale of 0 to 10 how committed you feel. Don't judge it harshly if it's lower than you'd like it to be. Just allow yourself to get curious about why wouldn't I contact these people? Or why wouldn't I be in that authentic place, that compassionate place?
So I feel like I'm focused more on scarcity and fear about like that I'll do it just to do it to get the job done, minus the three important factors of authenticity and compassion and resolution. I feel like, and I've done that at times. When I think about, sending that proposal to Lyle, was I just, and I'm not in guilt, I'm doing this out of curiosity. Was I doing it just to get, a part of me was, I not, was I, a part of me, I don't know if all of me, but a, a part of me was doing it just to get it done. And um, I want to find a way to work through that.
Yeah.
And
At
so
the
that's
same time, you don't want it to be an impediment of, oh, I'm going to call this person, but I'm not sure that I'm at a perfect 10 in terms of authenticity and compassion and resolution. So I better wait and hold off because done is better than perfect.
indeed, indeed.
So here,
And
let's
so,
clear that
so
stuff that might get in the way.
releasing the fear is what I want
Yeah.
to do.
Even though I feel this resistance,
Even though I feel this resistance,
I choose to love and accept myself.
I choose to love and accept myself.
Even though I feel this resistance,
Even though I feel this resistance,
I choose to love and honor myself.
I choose to love and honor myself.
Even though I feel this resistance,
Even though I feel this resistance,
I feel fear.
I feel fear.
I feel fear about how they might respond.
I feel fear about how they might respond.
I feel fear about how I might approach it
I feel fear about how I might approach it
because I have this ideal
because I have this ideal
about authenticity, compassion, and resolution.
about authenticity, compassion, and resolution.
And I'm afraid I won't totally live up to that.
And I'm afraid I won't totally live up to that.
And if I don't, it feels like a failure.
And if I don't, it feels like a failure.
Even though I feel all this fear and resistance,
Even though I I feel this fear and resistance,
I choose to deeply and completely
I choose to deeply and completely
love, honor, and accept myself
love, honor, and accept myself,
and maybe anyone else who might be involved.
and maybe anyone else who might be involved.
All this fear and resistance.
All of this fear and resistance.
All this fear and resistance.
I'll learn how to drink one of these days. All of this fear and resistance.
All this drinking problem that I have.
Problem that I have.
I'm clearing this fear and resistance.
Clearing this fear and resistance.
Perfection doesn't happen,
Perfection doesn't happen.
so I'll just settle for awesome.
So I'll just settle for awesome.
And with God, awesomeness is possible.
And with God, awesomeness is possible.
I am setting my intention
I am setting my attention
to reach out to people,
to reach out to people,
reaching out to them in an authentic way,
reaching out to them in an authentic way,
with compassion,
with compassion,
with an intention on resolution.
with an attention on resolution,
Creating win-win situations.
creating win-win situations.
And it won't be right for everyone.
And it won't be right for everyone.
And that's okay.
And that's okay.
I just want to give them the option.
I just want to give them the option. See, that's all I have to do. Like, this is part of the perfection is I'm just, and here's the deal. I'm only asking them to take a look, right? But I'm putting on the call the energy of them accepting the whole enchilada.
Yeah.
And that's where the pressure comes from, is right there. You know, I just,
And I'm releasing that pressure.
and I'm releasing that pressure.
Whether they take the whole enchilada
Whether they take the whole enchilada
is not on me.
is not on me.
I'm surrendering that to God.
I'm surrendering that to God
So that I can focus on my part.
so I can focus on my part.
I can't make them take this deal.
I can't make them take this deal.
I don't even know it's right for everybody.
I don't even know that it's right for everybody.
I don't know everyone's exact circumstances.
I don't know everybody's exact circumstances.
I can see how it can help them.
I can see how it could help them.
And I want them to see that opportunity.
And I want them to see that opportunity.
But I'm not attached to the outcome.
But I'm not attached to the outcome.
I'm releasing the outcome.
I'm releasing the outcome.
Same with all these other projects.
Same with all of these other projects.
No matter what I come up with,
No matter what I come up with,
it's not going to be perfect for 8 billion people.
it's not going to be perfect for 8 billion people.
Even Jesus couldn't reach everybody in his lifetime.
Even in 2,000 years, he hasn't. Even Jesus doesn't reach everybody.
I'm putting the message out there.
Say that again.
I'm putting the message out there
I'm putting the message out there
in an authentic and compassionate way.
in an authentic and compassionate way.
The resolution isn't entirely up to me.
The resolution that I was speaking of was not the resolve of the thing, was of me doing my part. That's
Your
what I'm talking
resolution, your resolve. Got it.
about. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm clearing any limits to that.
I'm clearing any limits to that.
I'm allowing my resolve to grow.
I'm allowing my resolve to grow.
I'm resolved to making a difference.
I'm resolved to making a difference.
It's not going to be right for everybody.
It's not going to be right for everybody.
It's not for me to say it should be right for everybody.
It's not right for me to say that it's right with everybody.
So I'm releasing the attachment.
So I'm releasing the attachment.
I'm putting it out there to benefit as many people as possible.
I'm putting it out there for it to be available to as many people as possible.
And I'm allowing myself to feel really good about that.
And I'm allowing myself to feel really good about
I'm allowing myself to have fun with it.
that. I'm allowing myself to have fun with it.
So I feel tons of resolve
So I feel tons of resolve
in body, mind, and spirit.
in body, mind, and spirit.
Take a deep breath.
It's good.
Yeah, you put it out there. It's just like, when I make a video, I don't expect 8 billion people to love it.
Right.
You know, I'm not attached to anyone watching. It's like, I feel this is going to benefit somebody. I'm going to put it out there. And that's what you're doing. It's like, hey, I have this project that I think will benefit people with the various projects that you're doing with Revo, with the memory system. It's like, hey, I feel drawn to share this because I believe it will help people, and I'm going to put it out there. And if someone says no, then you say next. It's like, okay, it's not going to be the exact right thing for everybody,
So how do you
but I'd hate
use,
for them to miss out on it.
right? How do you use being a dick without um without the guilt, as an impetus for moving forward? Do you know what I'm saying? That, remember you said
Right.
that,
If you're not sharing, you're being a dick. But you don't want
right.
to feel like you don't want to feel guilty about.
Yeah, yeah. How do you use it to motivate you without shame and guilt in yourself?
Well, and that's the thing is we have all this programming of you have to, if there's something you should do, then you should feel guilty and feel shame if you're not doing it.
Right.
And that's just, it's a total misunderstanding. It's all it's a manipulative thing that people have come up with. When Jesus said to the woman, "Go forth and sin no more," he didn't then say, "And feel guilty if you do."
Right. Right.
It's so it's like oh, I mean that it's kind of a playful thing to say you're being a dick if you're not sharing,
Oh,
but
yeah. I want, again, that's the space that I want to find.
yeah,
Being playful. I like that.
it's just being playful, but it's like um but and it's and it's said in such a way because we have all this programming of if you talk to people about something you're selling, that's being a dick. We have all of this programming that selling is being a dick. And so Jesse flipped it and said, no, if you have something of value to share and you're not sharing it, that's when you're being a dick.
Wow, I like that.
So it's said in a provocative way to really kind of create that snap, but it's
Yes.
not meant to, and you should be ashamed of yourself if you don't.
Right. Yeah.
Um, some people will feel motivated by that shame, just as they feel motivated not to share because they're afraid of being a dick. That feeling of if I call someone up and I say, "Hey, I want to talk to you about something," it's like, oh, I should feel guilty about bothering somebody.
Yeah. That's how
So,
I share. I didn't tell you. When I went through my list, I actually, my best friend has become a millionaire through inheritance. And, he has a good job and had some money set aside, but not, he got $1 million, over $1 million from his mom when she passed away. 3 kids, and they all got, well, three of them. Then his brother passed away shortly thereafter, so they split that money 3 ways, and then they split his brother's money two ways. And so anyway, I didn't need to tell that part of the story, but um, I so I he's one that, you know, some people, you said that some people this isn't for them. Well, it's not. It's cost money, right? And for some people, they may not have any money right now. They could be 500 in the hole every month, and this isn't the right thing for them because it's got to be money that they can afford to lose. And so I want, that's when I said compassion, that I have the compassion to show them, but also to feel for them of where their situation is and not
Yeah.
like be
And
manipulative.
make it aspirational. It's like, hey, I get that this may not be right for you right now, but when things are advertised on TV, like expensive things like trucks, they don't say, okay, can we make sure that this ad is only seen by people who have the funds to buy a truck? Because we
Yeah,
don't want to make people feel bad if they can't even, afford to take the bus. It's like,
right.
hey, put it out there and it's aspirational. It's like, if this isn't right for you at the moment,
Yeah,
here's something that it might be at some point. And
yeah,
you know,
yeah. That helps. I like that.
cool. All
So
right, you can time for guided imagery.
I am.
Get yourself comfy cozy, close your eyes, take a deep breath in and hold it. Let it go. Another deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. A third deep breath in and hold it. And let it go. Now just breathing comfortably with your eyes closed. Breathing comfortably, and just imagine that with each breath you take in, your lungs comfortably draw in that healing light. Breathe in relaxation and positive energy. Imagine that healing light of whatever color you like surrounding your body, so that with each breath you take, your lungs comfortably draw that in, allowing that healing light to flow through every muscle, nerve, fiber, tissue, cell, and atom of your body. Imagine a healing shower flowing down, crystal clear water that's a perfect temperature as it flows over the top of your head, soothing and relaxing your scalp, washing away fear, doubt, anxiety, washing away anger, sadness, guilt, shame, washing away pain, frustration, disappointment, embarrassment, washing these away to reveal the light that you truly are. This unique expression of divine light and love. Allowing more and more of that light to be revealed as that healing shower flows over your forehead, relaxing the muscles in your face, flowing down over the back of your head, your neck, your shoulders, washing away tension, leaving your shoulders calm, comfortable, and relaxed. Healing shower flowing down your arms, all the way down over your fingertips, down over your chest and your stomach, soothing and relaxing, healing and cleansing, and allowing yourself to remain comfortably in whatever position you choose. Allow that healing shower to flow down over your upper and lower back. And as your torso relaxes, your internal organs comfortably do whatever they need to do to achieve and maintain your optimal level of health and well-being in body, mind, and spirit. As that healing shower continues down over your body, down over your hips and your thighs, over your knees, down your lower legs, through your ankles, into your feet. And finally, that relaxation flows over your toes as you allow yourself to relax twice as much, going at least twice as deep with each number as I count backwards: 5, drifting down to 4, floating down to 3, 2, 1, and 0 is deep sleep. Deeper, deeper. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0 is deep sleep. And in this calm, comfortable state of mind and body, go ahead and imagine yourself in some really beautiful place, some place where you allow yourself to be present to the beauty, the magnificence, the abundance of God's creation. And imagine there's a lot of people there in this beautiful place. And imagine that you've got a basket and it's filled with something really nourishing. Could be apples, could be peaches, something that you really like, something you really enjoy that is good for you. And just allow yourself to feel that desire to share this with other people. And you've got this whole basket of these wonderful things and you just want to share it with other people. And so just see yourself going around and saying, hey, would you like some? I hope you really enjoy this. And some people may say, no, thank you. I don't care for those. I'm not hungry right now. I'm allergic, whatever it might be. And just allow yourself to feel peace and say, that's okay. I just wanted to share this. I just wanted to give you the opportunity. And there's plenty more people who will want what you have to offer. Knowing that what you have to offer is a gift from God. Just allowing yourself to feel the enjoyment of sharing it. And even when they say no, just letting go of any thoughts of, oh, I shouldn't have said anything, I shouldn't have shared it. Just releasing that. Just allowing yourself to feel really good about sharing these gifts. Regardless of how other people respond. Just having this sense of, I wouldn't want anyone to miss out because I didn't share it. So allowing yourself to feel really good about sharing these gifts. Feeling better and better about it, feeling excited about it. As we go even deeper now, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0 is deep sleep. In a moment, I'll count you back out from 0 up to 5. 5 will be wide awake, alert, focused, and energetic, feeling much better than before. Feeling much more aware of the gifts that you have to offer. Feeling much more excited about sharing them. And also feeling a sense of peace and love about sharing them. Feeling a sense of freedom from attachment about how other people respond to them. Just allowing yourself to feel peace and joy and love. Now, tonight, when you choose to go to sleep, don't be surprised when you fall asleep quickly, soundly, deeply. The physical body relaxes, and with that relaxation comes a wonderful sense of calm well-being of body and mind. Sleeping very well through the night, and during the night you'll dream. The more you dream, the stronger you become. I'm going to ask your unconscious mind to allow at least one of your dreams to be a very healing dream. Continuing this healing process in body, mind, and spirit so that in the morning, at the time you've chosen to wake up, you wake up easily, feeling refreshed, energetic, and ready to start the day again, powerfully moving forward. Sharing your gifts joyfully, lovingly, and moving forward into an ever more joyful experience of an ever greater abundance of health, wealth, happiness, and love, which are your birthright and which benefit others. And now I go back down to 0, which is always deep sleep, allowing your mind, body, and spirit to digest all of these positive thoughts and images, taking them in at a very deep level so that these positive changes occur easily, effortlessly, and naturally. Coming up to 1, feeling physically relaxed. 2, feeling emotionally calm and confident. 3, health and well-being, enthusiasm, love, joy, and gratitude flowing through every muscle, nerve, fiber, tissue, cell, and atom of your body. 4, becoming more and more alert and aware of your surroundings. And 5 is eyes open, wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open, wide awake, and welcome back.
I have one question.
Yeah.
I'm going to share this with a couple of people. Do you think of anything that we talked about that I shouldn't? I know I've shared them before and you give me permission, but I'm just saying we didn't delve anything that today that did we? I
I
don't
don't
think so.
remember anything that should be that anyone should find offense with or be
Okay, right.
harmful to anyone.
Okay, or to me, you know,
Well,
you know,
right, right.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, I don't think so either, but I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
All right, well, it was a good session, man.